With everybody still looking for budget GPU options here in 2022, I thought today we'd take a look at the GTX 1060 3GB variant. Now this graphics card was released back in 2016 at an MSRP of $199. But can it still hold up to today's 1080p gaming? Well, we're about to find out. So I've got some gaming benchmarks, I've got pricing information, and I'll give you my final thoughts here coming up in a bit. Now test bench information along with timestamps and affiliate links if you wanted to build a similar system will all be available down in the description box below. But without further ado, let's get into the benchmarks. Starting off, our benchmark run is Fortnite at 1080p medium settings and epic view distance. Now, Fortnite is not a hard game to run. The GTX 1060 does an adequate job of delivering over 150 FPS on average. By dropping the low settings, you could likely get near 144 FPS for that high refresh gaming experience. Up next is the Halo Infinite multiplayer, which at 1080p low settings deliver 58 FPS. Here the 1060 shows its age as we received a warning opening the game about the 3GB VRAM buffer on the GTX 1060. However, we were still able to play the game and hit the 60 FPS cap. Moving into Apex Legends, once again the GTX 1060 was able to deliver near 100 FPS at 1080p with a mixture of medium and low settings. So you could drop all the settings to low and push over the 100 FPS mark, but I think the medium low setting mixture and running at 90 something FPS is a good compromise. Far Cry 5 is our first AAA benchmark running at 1080p with high settings, and we were able to get over the 60 FPS threshold at 62 FPS, so certainly a very playable experience on a AAA game. And wrapping up our AAA benchmarks is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, where at 1080p medium settings we were close to the 60 FPS threshold at 56 FPS. Now taking the settings to low, you can certainly jump over the 60 FPS threshold, but I think just under at medium settings is fine as well. And wrapping up the benchmarks is Call of Duty Warzone, where at 1080p low we were able to get an average of 70 FPS before getting completely destroyed by a camper, but at least it wasn't a hacker. Alright, now before we go any further, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you thought the benchmarks were better or worse than they would be for this 6-year-old graphics card. So what do I think about this graphics card? Well, before we get into that, I think we actually have to talk about pricing first. So currently at the time of this filming, the GTX 1060 3GB is going for about $200 to $250 on eBay. Now for a 6-year-old graphics card with a 3GB VRAM buffer, I think that is way too much money. I think you'll be better off with something like the GTX 970. The GTX 970 sells for about $150 on eBay and has 4GB or 3.5 GB of VRAM, so you would have more VRAM available to you at a lower price point. Keep in mind the GTX 970 will also be within about 5 frames per second depending on the video game, so overall I think the 970 would be a better value over a $250 GTX 1060. Now keep in mind, I do like the GTX 1060, I think it is a good card, however it's just a little bit overpriced at the time. Now, if you can find this card for somewhere between $150 to $200, I would go ahead and purchase the card at that point because I do think it is a good card. And like I said, it does have slightly better performance than the GTX 970. However, at $250, just not as good a value. All right, so if you'd like to see my other recommendations for budget 1080p gaming cards, check out this video right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join the PinkyTech Discord server where you can speak with other like-minded PC enthusiasts. And as always, guys, I appreciate you watching and I'll see you in the next video.